comic book fans, this is your host, Travis Collins, aka Duck Punch, and I'm back for another episode of Duck Punch Comics. Here to review 10 books that came out last week on May 4th. Not a lot of DC this week, it just worked out that way. I try to kind of keep things balanced between the big two, but this week there just really wasn't that much that I got. Sorry. Anyway, as always, we jump straight to our reviews. Up first, Annihilators number 3. This was another fun issue of this 2-in-1 story, though not quite as awesome as the last one. The Annihilators are taking the fight to the homeworld of the Dire Wraiths. At the same time, Rocket Raccoon and Groot are up to their eyeballs in muck as Rocket's past is revealed. This is a lot of fun in a very nostalgic sense, but somehow it felt a little bit more forced than the last couple issues. It was kind of like watching a Michael Bay movie, complete with random explosions, long heroic-sounding exposition, and wings to old fans. But when you strip all that away, this issue really didn't have a lot else going on for it. It was a good offering, but I always expect better from this team. Thankfully, in this case, I got it later on. More on that in a minute. Next up, Astonishing Thor number 4. Now, this miniseries has been alright, but not anything really to write home about. Now, I like Roddy's take on Thor, and I loved his For Asgard miniseries. This one, however, seems to be more interested in posturing and showing just how cool Thor is, which, admittedly, he is. Seems more interested in that than actually telling a good story. And I come away feeling like I really haven't read that much. If nothing else, the art here is fantastic. Outside of that, meh. Next up, Avengers Academy, number 13. Now, a few months back, I very publicly dropped this book. Well, about 2 weeks ago, without telling anyone, I picked up an issue, issue number 12. Wow, what a difference 8 months and 8 issues made. This book has, at least to me, made a complete turnaround. And this issue genuinely made me smile like a jackass. It was fun, it was uplifting, and it felt like a good end point for the first, I guess, chapter of these heroes' time together. I'm not sure what changed, maybe just the time to flesh these guys out, which I didn't really have a lot of patience for early on, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep reading it. But the last 2 issues, I will say this, I maybe, have been a little bit hasty in dropping it. Maybe. Next up, Batman Beyond number 5. Okay, now from way back in my childhood, I was a fan of the Batman Beyond cartoon, and I have long wanted to put Terry McGinnis into the canon. So I should like this series, right? Especially considering that in this issue, we're going to kind of spoil it just a little bit, they bring back the villain from the cartoon. But between the art style, which I'm still not liking that much, and the writing that can only be described as blah, I just feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm going to hold out for the end of the storyline. But if I'm not impressed by the end, I'm going to call it quits on this, which sucks a lot. Next, Fear Itself number 2. I will give Matt Fraction this. The man does not disappoint. And no, in this case, that is not a good thing. This issue makes no sense. It makes nothing sense. Why would good guys, or in one case, good-ish guys, be tempted to become super evil monsters of doom? Why is the serpent, this force of evil that Odin himself is scared crapless of, be using Nazi robots as opposed to all the other crap at his disposal? And for that matter, why is Odin still a douchebag? This makes no sense, and it's crap. But these are all questions that Fraction seems more than happy to just gloss over in exchange for just looking really cool. At least with the last 2 books where I made similar comments, at least A, the art was good, and B, I cared about the characters. I can't say that about this book at all. None of the characters in this particular issue were ones I really give a crap about. And this issue felt like it did nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Zero. It's a waste of my time, and thankfully, I'm not bound to get any more. I didn't prepay for this, so I can just keep on with my happy life. Speaking of happy things, Heroes for Hire number 6. Now, earlier on, I said that I had expected better from Abnett and Lanning, and that I did get it later on my pull list. Well, this issue was what redeemed them. This was just fantastic. This was a hoot. The dynamic between Paladin and Spider-Man, fantastic. Misty Knight playing something sort of resembling a straight man, straight woman, whatever, worked on just so many levels. It was fun. I laughed so hard I nearly started crying. It was that good. Just unbelievably good. And the best part is that next week, Abnett and Lanning are taking over New Mutants. Just, good time to be a DNA fan, let me tell you. Next, Irredeemable number 25. Good Lord! This was a great issue. So much happening. Auroran has a secret connection to the plutonium. Modius and Quibbit discover or rediscover the secret of the plutonium's powers. Hint, it's really fucking scary. The Survivor is going off his freaking rocker. It was great! All the little teeny tiny bits that Wade spent over the last couple months building up to this pay off big time. This was the issue of this I've been waiting for. Just knocked it out of the park. Fantastic stuff. Next, JSA All-Stars number 18. This is the final issue of this series. And while I love the team, this book was doomed from day one. Lack of a real direction. Non-cohesive stories. An art that was just painful to look at. Hopefully these characters will find a good home, but I can't say I'm going to miss this too terribly much. Just not that great of a book on the whole. Next up, Secret 6, number 33. Now this is the last chapter of our team's journey into hell. Is all sorts of screwy, but a little underwhelming on the whole. With the notable exception of Catman's interaction with his parents, this just kind of ends. I don't know, I guess I just want a little bit more closure. I mean, the segue at the end to the next story is really nice, but none of the weight of the last couple issues really seemed to play out. It just was a little disappointing. Last up, Uncanny X-Force number 9. Now, first off, is it just me, or have we had new X-Force issues for going on like 3 weeks in a row now? Anyway, this was a good issue, if an incredibly low-key one. Very simple artwork, very limited dialogue, but a whole lot of depth. I don't want to say too much about it because it will spoil it just by the nature of explaining what happens, but this was a good read. Really, really good read. So there you go, guys. 10 books in under 10 minutes. Book of the week for last week. No competition. Zero competition. Heroes for Hire, number 6. Just a hoot to read. Just absolutely top-notch. Fail of the week, the worst book out there. Fear Itself, number 2. Alright. Maybe back tomorrow for another episode. I'm not really sure. Haven't decided. We'll see. As always, please comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what I can improve on. Please subscribe. You know, I do these about once a week. I'm trying to do them twice a week now, but we'll see how that works. But if nothing else, just let me know what you thought. And as always, have a great week. See you guys soon.